Clock, we'll call this meeting to order. Would everyone please join me in the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call, please.
Chuck Davis,
Here.
Councilman Michael Cooley,
Here.
Councilman Corey Essler,
Here.
Councilman Doug Barkers,
Here.
Jerry Flutie.
Okay, well, we do have a quorum. We'll move on. Approval of the agenda. I need them. I see one move we need to make and give me a vendor council comments. And I'd like to move that back to the recreation department. Other than that, I'm good with it if everybody else. Have a motion to approve the agenda as read.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as read.
Have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of the minutes from the August 19th meeting. Everybody had a chance to look through those? I will take a motion to approve the minutes from the August 19th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 19th minutes.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on to approval of the bills. We had deposits in the amount of $343,325.36. Accounts payable in the amount of $35,746.09. Transmittals in the amount of $26,061.89. And payroll in the amount of $48,407.79. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve and pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve and pay the bills.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on. Is there any correspondence?
Sure.
No correspondence. Items from the public. Anybody want to get on the agenda? Okay. We'll move on to reports from departments. Council comments, we changed. Are there any council comments? Okay, we'll move on to reports from departments, town hall. Like we have ordinance number 888, regular council meeting changed to the
First and third Wednesday,
first and third Wednesday, final reading.
reading Town of Saratoga ordinance 88. Ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 2.04, Section 2.04.010 of the Town of Saratoga Municipal Code concerning regular council meeting dates, provide an effective date.
As I've said before, the only change we made is changed it from a Tuesday to a Wednesday, the first Wednesday of each month. So, are there any questions?
Starting when?
Pardon?
When does it start?
It'll probably start the first meeting in October.
We don't want to come back tomorrow?
No. Do I have a motion to go ahead and approve ordinance number 888 on its third and final reading?
I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 888 on its third reading.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Man. And so the first meeting will be October. You have your calendar in front of you,
First.
Yeah.
Deer season.
Deer season.
First day of deer season.
okay?
Thanks, girls.
That's one way to do this. Okay, we'll move on to. Been talking to the ladies, upstairs is getting a little bit full in some places. I don't know what the load weight is on for roof up here above us, but it's full of records. The option that I come up with was probably a used Connex box. Some of them have only made one trip, and that's what I was looking at. And they're in really good shape. If that's what we want to do. We're putting them over at the old police department. We're running into the roof leaks and kind of nasty and stinky in there. So we don't have to purchase it. I got a quote. This is the quote delivered to Saratoga, Wyoming, which is $4,795.50 for a 20-footer. Discussion.
Where we gonna set it?
We talked to a couple of places. I haven't talked to the fire department, but it'll probably be used some by the police department for records too. Cause it'll be, but we was thinking maybe in the corner behind firehouse straight to our east.
Kind of between the firehouse and the fire siren pole on the corner of our parking lot. Right there in that area.
So can we charge the police department rent?
Pardon?
Can we charge the police department rent on
I was told today, I could pay for half.
it?
Yeah, no, he's just gonna pay for half of it. But
Well, I've seen them. They make good storage.
They make amazing storage, and I've got 2 single trips that I bought last summer, and they're sealed up well, they're rodent resistant, they're a great option. You can't build a structure that's as tight as these for that cost.
No, you can't.
well, it was just a thought. We could use some storage. I have a question.
If you set one, I see them, they're over at the resort, they're around a lot. Put a ban on it so the shipping name gets off of.
And mine don't have any shipping names on them.
These didn't appear to either. Pictures that they sent me that I looked at didn't appear to have it. They may have a like a number down in a corner or something I didn't notice, but
Just the thought.
yeah. Actually, they look brand new. Or the pictures I got look brand new.
Yeah.
The ones that I got last summer that were single trips, one was built in June of last summer and the other one was built in July. I bought one of them in September and I think I bought the other one in November or something like
That's the
that.
only thought I've had is seeing them all
Yeah.
around the community. I mean, Raymer's got a whole row of them up there and just to go to paint to covers up the shipping name.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
This discussion started after the budget. We actually didn't budget for it, but
It may throw us over at the end of the year, but we went over this year at the end of the year. The airport. And it may not.
Well, if we need it, we need it.
Emery can save us on stuff. Depends on how much money Emery can.
He saved us a bunch, bud. He's got numbers to back, he's got data to back it up.
I think we need the storage. I don't think you can get any cheaper than that. We got a place to put it.
Well,
And it's still mobile,
Yeah.
to where if we do something different and want to move it or whatever, you can't. Whereas if you build a building, you can't. It's there.
and it's also mobile that if we ever purge any records and we have room, we can let another department use it too. Like what I was looking at. So.
I would make a motion to purchase it.
I have a motion to purchase this used Connex for $4,795.50. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Okay. Take care of that tomorrow. Okay, we'll move on to the police department.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman. I have no agenda items tonight. just a quick report. We've had 128 calls for service since the last meeting. I do have actually one thing to pitch at you that's not on an agenda item, and you just got back to me. We're working on getting rid of some surplus firearms. I met with Kylie and she said with doing a trade-in, I only have to get one quote. And so I met with Rick Craze from Rock Solid SST, who we get a lot of ammunition and other supplies from. He came down last week and gave me a quote for some old weapons that we have, evidence that's been released to be sold or destroyed, and then our old Ruger 9mm carbines that are getting replaced with these 300 blackout rifles, and then also some Gen 4 Glock 41s that were 45 caliber long slides that were bought under Knickerbocker and Buffalo, I believe. And what he offered was $2,810 in trade for the weapons. And I just wanted to get permission to do that. And he does allow the officers to do buyback on the weapons for $95 more than he purchases them for, which covers the FFL and his cost of driving down here to take care of everything and doing all the paperwork.
State that quote again.
$2,810. That'd be trade credit for us to use. And I'd be using that to get like the flashlights for our rifles. Would like to use that to get a new carrier for Lieutenant Morris. I got him new panels coming for free from Blank Point, but he never got one of the new outer carriers that everybody else has. He was gone when we did the last couple orders of those. And this trade-in would cover all that equipment and then some.
Kylie said we only had to get one quote.
Yeah, she said do it being trade-in, and the amount, the one quote was sufficient. And he comes to us and does everything, so it's just really easy and clean that way. And we just look like we have a question from the audience when you're.
1 second. My feelings are is we have a local place in town. We ought to at least show the courtesy to give him a quote.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know
So
if
if he
he'll
only
do,
bids $1 more, I'm gonna go with this guy, but
right, I'm not sure if he'll do trade. His would be a purchase, so we'll have to see how that would go.
whatever. He may not be interested, but to me, you need to offer it to the locals.
Okay. I can get a hold of him tomorrow and see if Warren can come over, and I assume that's what you're talking about.
That's my feel,
I agree.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
right?
Yep.
Question.
Question for the chief and the council. We hear on the national news about police guns getting into the wrong hands and you ending up out on the streets shooting people, and maybe it only happens once in a while, but how do you manage that? And there was references, I've noticed it on the news, references that it seems like the police guns are more powerful or have more capacity or something that makes them more desirable for the bad guys. I don't know if that's accurate. Maybe I misunderstood, but that question of how do you keep track of guns you're selling off that come out of this cop shop and end up somewhere else causing problems?
They're just like any other gun. They have to go through the FFL process, do the paperwork and everything. If somebody makes a straw purchase or something and then sells it, but that's not the police department's fault or anything. And they're not more powerful and more capacity and all that. In fact, most of the time they're undergunned.
And these weapons that I have that we're getting rid of are not anything that you couldn't walk into Warden's or Sportsman's Warehouse and buy off the shelf. These Ruger carabine rifles just take a regular Ruger pistol magazine, so they don't even hold but maybe 10 rounds. And then the 45 caliber pistol is just a regular Glock 41 anyone could go buy anywhere.
Are they cheaper compared to other used guns? Do you have any understanding of that? I'm kind of talking off the top of my head, but I'm concerned.
They're not any cheaper than other used guns. You can look in shotgun news and
A
stuff.
lot would depend upon the person selling them.
Right.
You know, my guns are very valuable. If you want to buy one of them, it's gonna cost you a lot of money.
Cause we had,
That's my guns.
we have some in there that are worth more than others. He basically, what he did while he was sitting here is pretty much just looked it up on gun broker to see what they're selling for. And then gave a quote off of what he thought he could still make some profit off of.
Thank you.
All right, would you check into that and then we
I
will
will.
finalize this at the next meeting?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
That's all I had.
Okay.
That's it.
Really?
I'm quick and easy tonight.
All right.
You don't want any money? You're actually making some money?
Trying to.
Boy, you're on the right
I
path.
can throw out, I don't know if you know, but I found 3 grants from 2021 that we had never done the
Yeah,
paperwork on, and we got those submitted and got back $45,000 over the past month. So,
really?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So that could help pay for the Connex maybe.
Maybe it wasn't budgeted.
I know, but it'll help with when our amendments at the end.
Okay,
It's not all mine. There's some PD, some town hall, and some fire.
okay. We'll move on to the fire department. I received nothing from the fire department. I know that they've been doing some training. They did a bunch of hose testing last weekend. That's about all I can report about them. I am gonna bring it up to them that they need to clean up their lot a little bit. It doesn't look real appropriate over there. Like we have a fishing hut and the weeds are growing and now a pile of dirt and so. Anyway, I will get with the chief on that. Anything else on the fire department? Okay, we'll move on to the recreation department.
Gentlemen,
Good evening, Carter.
I guess first order of business I have for you is the Aqua zip line for the Saratoga Municipal Pool.
Okay,
For the total quote with shipping to here is $18,111.50. It is a little over compared to what we budgeted by, I think, $113 at most.
we're gonna install it.
Yes, we are.
You look more confident than Emery does.
Yes.
Okay.
I keep telling those guys, hour.
Yeah.
Well, $113 over, that's not too bad. They have it on hand or is it back ordered or, you know?
Been bugging me for months to order. So I would imagine,
Like 6 to 8.
yes. I mean, me and this gal have been conversing for 6 months or more.
Okay. What's the council feel?
I'd say get it. I'll make a motion to purchase it.
Okay, I got a motion on the table to go ahead and approve this $18,111.50. Zip line. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. My next order of business is the ordering of uniforms for our upcoming flag football season. And these are the ones that are coming from NFL Flag, so each kid will get a NFL team logo on their jersey, get to keep the jersey. And that is for $1,034.45.
And there's only 35 kids?
Yeah, each one of those jerseys is $35.
That's. And how are you gonna pay for them?
Out of the youth rec programs.
Would you explain that a little bit to the public,
What do you mean?
how the program works? you know, the free footballs and,
Oh, yeah. So with each kid, we get a brand new flag, which will replace our old ones that are outdated. And for every 5 kids, we get a new football that is age appropriate versus the ones that we have now that are all the same size.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm sorry.
that's good. So this is a pretty good program.
Yeah.
So. What's the council feel? I'm all for it.
I'd make a motion to purchase the flag football.
Uniform kits for $1,034.45. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion.
There's one discussion.
What, when does flag football start?
Practice starts September 15th, and then it'll be a week of practice, and then games go until October 16th.
Thank you.
They have a motion on the table, it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on to rec department news. Last council meeting, we received some feedback from a local person, and some of the points she made have been addressed and were addressed prior to this. You want to go ahead and read your letter you received from Megan James?
Megan, Dear Town Council, as a newly formed recreational commission with a new director, we have collectively committed to a foundational approach for our community's programs. Our goal has been to engage directly with the program participants, strengthen our core offerings, and build a system that will allow us to thoughtfully develop new programs essential to our community. We are striving to stop the continued cycle of unfulfilled terms on the commission and resigning recreation directors. To achieve this, we have prioritized a focus on existing programs for the near term. This has allowed us to gather consistent feedback through surveys, which we have used to implement targeted improvements for ongoing seasons. This important work takes time and requires the continued engagement of our community members. The Recreation Department has in 2025 offered 4 new fitness classes, activities. We have offered swim lessons and had an inaugural season of softball, provided hockey pucks for pond hockey, skates for Kiwanis, and for the ice rink, nets for outdoor summer pickleball, and we'll be kicking off our new pickleball program. Additionally, our meeting minutes are now posted online. Regarding the comments from Kathy, we have reviewed her feedback and are prepared to discuss it thoroughly at our next recreational committee meeting on Monday at 6 p.m., which would be Monday the 8th, I believe. While we will not address them here, most of her points have been discussed in previous meetings she did not attend. We are grateful to have community members like Kathy who are willing to speak up, and we operate on the assumption that she has encouraged others with concerns to provide specific details to a commission member or the mayor so we can properly investigate. We also wish to acknowledge Cindy for her engagement and consistent attendance to our meetings, and we look forward to her continued commitment and engagement. We are confident in our path to improve our core offerings and expand the scope of our programs. We can do this most effectively with constructive suggestions, not just complaints. To that end, we strongly encourage everyone to participate in our programs to see firsthand the direction we are heading. Finally, we want to express our profound pride in the work of our director, Carter. He has shown amazing initiative and is the driving force behind the improvements we have seen from our programs to the pool and enhanced online engagement. We too do not demand perfection, but with patience and partnership, we can get close to it. Sincerely, the Recreational Committee.
That's a very nice letter. What I would like to do is, we broke her letter down, she read, and some of the bullet points she made, I would like to respond to those. And what is an established process for communicating with the council and the community? The public is always welcome to all the meetings. Opinions are encouraged. The meetings are posted online, date and time. And another way is our front door is always open. They can come in. Uh, my cell phone number is all over. I ran with when I campaigned for mayor, I ran with my cell phone and it's still out there, and so is my email address. Uh, Another point was what events the Recreation Commission sponsored in the past year? Well, youth basketball, adult volleyball, and softball, pickleball, youth flag football, swim lessons, water aerobics, fitness classes, and youth soccer, plus yoga. So that was in 2024. Was also brought up about the aquatic center that was mentioned in February of this year's meeting. Probably 2 months ago, I was contacted by Nick Hatterley. He wanted to sit down and visit with me. He was bringing a lady with him by the name of Danny Tanner. And she had helped a great deal with Boys and Girls Clubs. So we sat down, we had a meeting with them. Carter was present. And they wanted to do their own study to see if Saratoga could support a Boys and Girls Club. And to my knowledge, that is what they're still doing, study. They have reached out to Carter for information that he's called and asked me if we can give to him, like what his budget was, and various items like that. Well, that's all public information. We can give them everything they want. And we have not heard back from them. So, you know, that meeting probably wasn't documented or put up anywhere. I believe it was discussed a little bit in the council meeting. But I may be wrong. There was a quorum question about how many has to be present for a quorum. If people will look back, probably a month and 2 months ago, we changed that board from a 7-person board to a 5-person board. So you need 3 people present to have a quorum. The secretary seat, yes, the lady is from out of town. She served on the board for a long time. She moved back home after they had 2 years ago, I believe, 1.5 years, after they had the hurricane part. I believe it was North Carolina. She received flooding on her home back there. So she moved back there, asked if she still owns the property here. She asked if she could be the volunteer secretary. The board didn't see a problem with it. I don't see a problem with it. That's one reason why we moved the board to five people, is because of trying to get people to serve on the boards. So difficult. Another one was recording the meetings. We don't record the meetings there. The minutes are available on the town website. For people that don't know, we have 14 days after a meeting to post our minutes or get them out where people have access to them. So they're there to be read. You can always come into the town hall and read them or get copies of them. The board appointments, yes, there is an issue there. What it was is pretty much the board quit all at once. We had to appoint a whole new board members, so pretty much everyone was appointed at the same time. They do not have their terms listed out. We try to stagger the board members, so you don't have a brand new board. When you get like 2 new board members, you have a past old board, so they can educate. So when they go off, the 2 new ones are educated and they can help educate. So it's a staggering type appointment. Another question was, why is public information so hard to access? I don't have the answer for that. I think our website's pretty user-friendly. I don't have any problem finding stuff on it. And we are trying to post everything we can on the website. The rec department uses Facebook, social media quite regular. And
Daily.
there's always stuff posted on there. So I can't really answer that question without a little more knowledge. Community survey. Carter, the only thing I don't know if you guys have sent out a survey notice. I do know you send them out after.
Each program that we offer.
Yes, each program that's offered, like Pee Wee basketball, and you received how many back on that?
I mean, it differs for each program, and of course, every program can have some constructive criticism, but I would say the overall majority of them are positive
Okay.
feedback from that.
Okay,
So
no, but we are trying to figure out what people want and desire. Pickleball is the new thing, I guess. And, there are a lot of options, you know. As the mayor, I have to look at it. Yes, I would like to build a pickleball court in a couple of places around town, but it's called finances. We do have pickleball courts. I believe they have 3 to access when they're playing at the community center. I don't know, if it was followed up on, but, the Saratoga Resort was interested in it. One of their people was. It's no longer there, is my understanding, but, I don't know if that was followed up on. You have some other things on pickleball?
yeah, so it's recently, I guess it's been a few months now, we adopted it as a rec program. And I mean, the first season of it, and there's 3 seasons a year, and the first one is the registration closes for it September 8th. I mean, the registration's been open for over probably a month by that time, or at least a couple weeks by now. You know, so it's being treated just like any other rec program that we offer.
Okay. And you asked for their help on setting up rules and regs and,
Yeah, I sent an email to Cindy Carnes about it, see if she could help me, because I know from my understanding, the different skill levels, so on and so forth, require different rules. So I sent her an email, see if she'd be willing to help me with that, and I haven't heard back from her.
thank you. Okay. Then we go to improvement to facilities was brought up. Well, ball fields look great. The scoreboards are up. They've got batting cages up now and, I mean, I think the ball fields look good. We had the master plan for the walking path, which, Emery has worked diligently on. Hopefully we'll hear sometime later this fall on whether we're gonna get the grant. The first phase of this is gonna be from the high school down by the a walking, gonna be a sidewalk, a huge sidewalk down to along the library, down across the ditch and, come down to what would be Fourth Street, or across the road and then come alongside the building, the school. And I believe it's gonna end on Third. Or is it? And it's gonna end on Third. That's the first phase. The second phase will be, hopefully, that'll be probably a year to 2 years down the road. We'll do the second phase, which would be over by the hot pool, across Veterans Island, and then around. It'll be a loop, and it'll come up over the bridge. And that was the 2 highest referred ones when they did the stamp study plan and referred everything to us, that this would be probably the 2 best to put in town at this time. We are also working on signage. Did the signs come in?
No, we're gonna meet with the planning commission at the next meeting. We've got the proofs, go over the proofs and do any adjustments before they start working.
Okay, that's something else that come out of that was signage, and we are diligently working on that. Facility and staff feedback. Most of this is posted on the Facebook and website as needed. Lack of accessibility. And I believe they're concerned about reaching out to Carter. Carter doesn't have set hours over there because he's always on the move. I mean, he is the recreation director, even though we had a pool manager, he is over that person. He has to look at the pool, he has to look at the hot pool, he has to check out some of the parks. We are striping the ball fields now. And so that's some of the reason why he is not sitting in his office all the time, which that's what we want. There was a report of unprofessional conduct. we looked into it. I had a meeting with, the person that stated it. I believe they even come and talk to you.
Mhm.
Uh, From what I found out, I could not say that anything was handled unprofessionally. But I wasn't there. Threats about hiding the equipment. Carter,
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that stems, and I could be wrong, but I think that stems from when we adopted pickleball as a rec program, we were gonna put some of the nets away to save the cost of us having to buy new ones. I mean, each net is $350, but they haven't gone anywhere. They have had access to all of them. I don't.
locker room closure, you wanna address that?
Yeah, so there was a point where the sewer was backed up over there. We had to redo it completely. And then I kind of made the decision that we're just going to utilize that for school sports. And we have school sports in there so the kids can get changed. Like currently we have middle school volleyball. So the girls' locker room is the only one opened. And it's like the way I see it is we live in a small town. It's not like the showers aren't accessible in there, you know, and can't live very far. If you're utilizing the gym, it shouldn't take you that long to get home, to change, shower, do whatever you need. So just to kind of mitigate the use of it, because from what I know, since I was just as a open gym supervisor, that bathroom has kind of always been the one that gets trashed one way or another. Sewers, water balloons down it, you name it.
And there is a public restroom that everybody can use, men and women's.
Yes.
One thing was brought up is the director is using a town vehicle. Well, the director is an employee of the town. He carries, one reason he uses it is he carries the striping machine for the ball field around. He has to, we stripe all the fields. We invited Encampment into the program this year. They accepted, so we stripe their fields too. He may have to use it to travel out of town for training or whatever, but yes, he does use a town vehicle. And league pricing has increased with clear justification. I'll let you explain that, Carter.
Yeah, and most of it is just to improve all of our programs overall. Like the example earlier with the NFL flag, kids get a nicer jersey rather than just a t-shirt. And also it helps us replace our equipment over time.
Okay. And I haven't seen none of these, but parents have voiced frustration over youth basketball program. And our bullet point on this, is we appreciate feedback from the parents and it will be handled differently in the future. I think you guys are always working on something new.
Yeah, we're always trying to improve all of the programs across the board.
Equipment spending, we just ordered how much in weights?
I think that like with the Stairmaster and everything, I think over $13,000 or more.
Yeah. And are they in yet?
Yeah, both of them are in the street shop. Those guys are kind of busy. So whenever they get some time, we have a plan to go install them.
When was the last time we spent any money on equipment?
To my knowledge, those machines that are in there currently are. And they were hand-me-down.
It's not like we're overspending on equipment.
Yeah, and I even looked into it as far as like the company that manufactured the machines is no longer in business, so you couldn't even get it serviced.
We're actually updating the equipment as we can. I mean, we just purchased the new zip line for the swimming pool. The water temperature at the pool, this is the municipal pool. Yes, there has been a few issues, and yes, we've talked about it amongst ourselves. We figure only one of the ways we're gonna solve it is the cover is going to get ordered. And then when nobody is in the pool, we will cover it, which should help maintain the temperature. But when it drops to 40, 45 degrees at night, it's hard to maintain the temperature of the pool. They are gonna do some plumbing experiments with the heat exchanger and see if we can keep it up that way. Right now, if we heat the big pool too much, it drives the heat in the not so hot pool up.
When Emmer and I, he tasked me to do a little research on it. And, we put together some data and like when it was smoky for like those 2 weeks or whatever, that also affected the temperature of the pool. And I know that we had like a couple weeks where the overnight loads were 40 or below. And like, we can't help that like, and the solution in the past has always been to put hot pool water in the pool. And that's just not realistic. It would alter so many different things that
Yeah.
wouldn't be smart.
Then we move on to lifeguards. There was a question brought up that we hired the Rollins lifeguard before it was approved by the council. We did hire the Rollins lifeguards back, but their contract that they had signed ran from July to July. And then we rehired them in the council meeting, so I guess you could say we hired them, but they still had a contract that was good through the end of July. Some lifeguards were not hired. Reasons were lapse certification, staffing, and being set. Cancellation of classes. There was some evening aerobics canceled because of lightning. There's the state has protocol that we have to follow, which Carter follows. And if there's a lightning strike within an hour.
So within 10 miles, there's a lightning strike within 10 miles, everybody has to be out of the water for a half hour.
Oh,
And I think the instance Kathy was referring to, yes, it was an hour, 20 minutes prior, there was a potential for a rainstorm. It was my 1-year wedding anniversary and I was going on a date with my wife. So I made the call and I canceled it an hour and 20 minutes early.
okay. Then it was brought up the pool's financial sustainability and staffing. Well, we did have a few good days at the pool, but trust me, the pool is not making money. It's not a money maker. We don't make money on it. And we're just trying to keep it open. We did a lot of repairs this year. We're putting in a zip line, so we're just trying to make what we have better because we can't afford a new pool. And then the pool manager was brought up. We did have a pool manager all year long. It was set up, the lifeguards with experience as well as new lifeguards. We had multiple cashiers, a full certified swim instructor, additional employees with the necessary CPO certification, which are the ones that have to address the pouring. So I think our rec department's doing well. My door is always open. I'll offer this to anybody. I'll sit down and talk to anybody. I've sat down and talked to Cindy Carnes. I've visited with Cindy Luce. I've talked to Valerie Larshide. But yes, please call. Please let us know. Love to talk to people. I know these guys have too. And I think our rec department's moving along very well. And I'm very pleased with our director. Yes, sir.
I have a comment. You guys down cleaning the pool every morning?
I am.
I would like to say, just as somebody from the community, I'm down there with my wife most days during the summer. This man down there doing the groundwork, he's doing yeoman's work. He's not shining on for anybody at 5:30 in the morning, scrubbing the bottom of the pool. And once Emery starts, sorry, Emery, that's all, the only way I know you is by your first name. Starts the walking path, he can push a concrete float for the sidewalk. He's got a lot of practice. Having a pool open in a community like this, to me, is huge. Regardless of the attendance or the census of that. We went a few times ourselves, took our grandkids there last year. To me, it's huge. So.
Being heated is a
appreciate
plus. Everybody takes that for granted. The temperature is amazing.
The temperature is amazing. When I grew up taking swim lessons, It's a cold morning. Get in the pool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I do have a couple of key points now that the pool is closed. I did a little data analysis, so I would say it's easy to say that over 1,500 people visited our pool over the summer. And out of the 60 water aerobics classes that we had scheduled, I would say easily we had 55 of them actually take place. And then swim lessons, I would say we were able to offer swim lessons to 35 or more kids. So I think the pool is very successful.
Me too.
Yep.
Love it too.
Sounds to me like it's been one of the better years in a while, so. Thank you, Carter.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Carter.
Thanks, Howard.
Okay, we'll move on to Department of Public Works, Mr. Emery.
Okay, don't have any money items. Tonight for the Public Works Department. Just got a few updates. We did kick off the West Bridge project yesterday or last week with the sewer up there on the hill. We had a little bit of a slow start. We found the end of 1,000 utility lines, a bunch of stuff that wasn't marked, where they were hung up there in that one spot for so long. But it's nice to have those guys back, and it's gonna be a long project. I mean, it's a lot of pipe. So everybody just be patient with them, and we'll get through it. But it's not a small project. I was gonna give you guys a quick update. We had talked months back about getting Cindy here through DEQ, through the state, to do an evaluation on our buildings over there. Their schedule is still pretty stacked. I did have a Zoom meeting with her last week, and so we're hoping later this fall they'll get some people freed up to get over here and do the asbestos testing and all that stuff on the building, and kind of get a better idea of what it would actually cost to remediate it versus just leveling out, and then some options there moving forward. So that's where that's at. We're still working on it. It's just there's not a lot going on that front. Waiting on people. Valley Pan project, we had B&H. They were going to start forming up. It's rained last week, and trying to get dirt work for Valley Pans done when it's raining is very difficult because you're playing in the low spot. So we haven't been able to do a lot till today on those. We'll start putting hickory together tomorrow. I got asphalt coming. We'll have a paving machine over there. Start putting that back. We were going to try and put some ribbons in it and kind of patch it and clean it up instead of one of the worst roads downtown. It was a conglomeration of concrete, cold mix, hot mix, chip seal. So there really wasn't a real good way to fix it and make it worth the time it was going to take to do it. So that's the full remediation came from on that. In the future, I'll try to be a little bit better organized on a bigger project like that. Kind of crunched the windows. Whiteout's getting ready to move this week, so we wanted to get in there, but make sure we have a conversation about a bigger road project like that in the future before we just pull the trigger, tear the road up. So apologize for that. I'll try to improve that communication in the future. Moving on to Elm Street. So I got a couple invoices I'm still waiting on, but they're probably only going to affect these numbers by plus or minus 5%. So when we started that project and had it designed, we had an engineer's estimate of about $530,000. If we were to bid it out and build it, we figured it was going to cost about $530,000. And that's no contingency, no construction management, just flat construction costs. And that's pretty congruent with what we're seeing statewide, about $500,000 per block, a utility line. So tallying everything up, and depending on what way you want to look at this, if we don't do that project, we still have to pay our guys. So the wage costs to that project are kind of ancillary. They don't really exist. The overtime I do add in there because that overtime was caused by the project. So there's three savings figures that I have. So on the completion of that project, even if we add all of our wages in over that period of time, it saved us about $290K to do that ourselves. If we figure in we don't figure in the full wages, but we figure in just the overtime, parts, asphalt, etc., saved us about $347. And And if we don't have the overtime in there and it's just parts, equipment rentals, everything, it's a savings of about $365. Now, we get to see those savings because we have a lot of staffing stuff that it's just we're already paying for anyway. Like those contractors and stuff, they have guys like me who are project managers that those salaries have to be figured in. I'm not saying we go out and man, those contractors are really making a ton of money on us. I mean, they got taxes to pay, they got more wages to pay, they got guys on salaries who that might be the only project they have all year. So what I really think we see is what's best for the utility is us to find a good blend of us doing some of these projects, a block a year, couple blocks a year, and then having these, making sure we're still financially allocating resources to have these contractors in and do these. Like we can't do a 3,500 foot project. Like to hire enough guys to do that, we'd be laying them all off in 3 years. So finding a good blend, which I think is kind of what we're seeing. It's what we got going on right now. And I think that's best long-term. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think we don't need to make it anything it's not. It's good. It's money back in our pocket. We can do another block next year. So. And then with renting that paving machine, we're kind of seeing the same percentage wise. So if we figured all the asphalt costs on that road and putting the road back, it's kind of like a 4 to 10 ratio. So if we do something, if we pave a square foot, it's $4. We have a contractor pave it, it's 10. That's kind of what it's coming out to. It's the same thing though. They got a lot of extra costs. We don't. We've got guys on staff anyway. So same thing. We can learn to do some of these medium projects ourselves. Long term, we'll see the fruit of that, but we will still need big contractors down the road to do big projects. But doing some of that stuff in-house will set us up to be able to do bigger projects. That was kind of the big thing I wanted to touch on there. You guys got any first questions?
Just keep up the good job.
Good job, Emery. Appreciate it. Appreciate my guys who've been watching them come together more and more like a melted cookie is.
Good teamwork.
Yeah, it is.
We did a good job.
And that's what'll change things long term. We want to see things in the department and the town get better. It'll be how we can work together. We'll fight and argue and piss and bone, but if we can do that 10 years down the road, we'll see the benefit from it. Okay, then we'll move on to planning commission if you ain't got no questions. Ordinance 887, I went back and added this clarifying language to the kind of fuzziness that was brought up last week. There's a double asterisk in that table. There's about a paragraph underneath the table, and all it is basically just explaining why it doesn't make sense. There's examples of
That does help clarify it, Emery.
and we're not changing anything. It just makes you guys be able to read it. And I have an example in there for the corner lot, and I think that'll suffice for what we were looking for.
Well, this was about the only change.
And it's not even really, I mean, it's in it more of just a clarification addition. There's no substance change, there's regulation change. It's.
Well, Jen, if you'd read it by title, we'll approve it on the second reading.
Ordinance number 887, an ordinance amending title 18, chapter 18.15, section 18.15.030 and 18.15.050, as well as title 18, chapter 18.18, section 18.18.030 and 18.18.050, as well as chapter 18.21, section 18.21.030 and 18.21.050, as well as chapter 18.24, section 18.24.030 and 18.24.050, as well as chapter 18.27, section 18.27.030 and 18.27.050, as well as chapter 18.06, section 18.06.070 of the town of Saratoga Municipal Code concerning accessory uses and assessment building setbacks, heights and placement requirements in residential zoning districts within Saratoga, as well as the clarification of setback definitions and allowing a setback reduction for primary dwellings built prior to the establishment of zoning regulations in Saratoga and provided effectively.
That's what, Jen, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Discussion. I have a motion to pass ordinance number 887 on its second reading with clarifying language about the lot areas.
I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 887 on title 18 on second reading with clarifying language.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Moving on. So little maps that you guys have in front of you, they're the exact same as this big one. There was a requirement by our ordinance to have certain language written here and being able to affix mayor's signature, et cetera. So I added it to that one, took the draft of it, and I just figured we didn't need to print 10 big ones again. So that's why. So it's the same thing. Nothing's changed. According to our ordinance, I thought we were gonna have to adopt it via ordinance. Our ordinance actually allows us to adopt a new map via resolution. So I drafted a resolution with attaching the new zoning map to that resolution as Exhibit A. So that adopting that resolution will adopt that new map as the most updated and official zoning map. Now reiterate, we changed no zoning on any public property. This was just, or private property. This was just to reflect the changes that people have requested and have been approved in the past. And then provided the airport with the overlay and open space. So when the airport gets around to making standards, we don't have to change the map and do that again.
Okay, Jen, would you please read this resolution?
Town of Saratoga Resolution number 2025-06, resolution of the town of Saratoga adopting a new official zoning map for the town of Saratoga. The new map reflects the airport district, open space district, and all recent zoning amendments petitioned by residents and approved by town council. Whereas the Saratoga Town Code allows for the adoption of an updated zoning map by resolution in section 18.12.030. Whereas the town of Saratoga Planning Commission held a public hearing on a proposed map on August 12, 2025. Thereafter, the planning commission reviewed the accuracy of the proposed map and made a recommendation to the Saratoga Town Council to adopt the proposed map. Whereas the town of Saratoga Town Council finds it in the best interest of the community to adopt an updated and accurate zoning map. The map being attached here as Exhibit A and affirmed by its date, the affixed signature of Mayor Chuck Davis. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Saratoga, Wyoming, that the zoning map attached to this resolution as Exhibit A be the official zoning map of the town of Saratoga. Furthermore, this adopted map shall supersede and replace all prior officially adopted zoning maps, including the official zoning map adopted as part of ordinance number 330. Passed, approved, and adopted the second day of September 2025.
Questions? Do I have a motion to go ahead and approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve this resolution.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolution is adopted.
Wait, now we can print out a big new map and hang it up in on all. A couple planning commission things I did. Round up the GIS contractor who helped with Roland getting their GIS and hosting it so you can access their zoning map on their website. You can click on a parcel, see what it's zoned, et cetera. But it looks like we'll be able to access that same thing, plug in for our website for like an initial setup. I think it's about $1,000. and $840 a year for them to host it after that, which is pretty reasonable, but I'm gonna have to draft up an actual proposal. And then bring it to you guys. I think that'd be very helpful to have that online, especially now it's updated, and a lot of the groundwork to do that, all the layers, that's built, it's prepped for it, so there's not a lot of work that has to go for it. I can just send them those files and they should be able to get it set up.
Good.
And then the signs was the other main thing I wanted to touch on. We did get proofs back from Enoch. Emailed those all over to the commission. We'll look those over at our next, I know there were some things with the pedestrian signs that weren't, as congruent as I'd like them compared to the scope that we approved. So we'll have some stuff there. And if it looks like one aspect of that's gonna get kind of drug out, we could maybe always look at just, let's go ahead and get the gateway signs, start getting them built. And then while we're getting the rest of the fine details with those other ones, wrapped up, they could be manufacturing those gateway signs. But those are kind of the bigger items there on that front.
Job. All right. Any questions for Emery? Hey, you want to move on to the Water and Sewer Joint Powers Board?
We've got a meeting next week. I don't have anything updated. We haven't had a meeting since our last council meeting. There's nothing real to update on that front, unless you guys have any questions.
Okay, thanks, sir. Recreation Commission.
Nothing new to report. We didn't have a meeting this month, so the next meeting will be next Monday on the 8th at 6 o'clock here at the town hall.
Thank you. Saratoga Airport Advisory Board. I have nothing to report. Their next meeting will be September 8th, 2025 at 3:30 PM here at the town hall. South Central Emergency Medical Service, I have nothing to report there. Their next meeting is September 15th, 2025, 6 PM in Medicine Bow. Is there any new business to be brought before the town?
Sorry.
Okay. Do I have a motion to go into executive section under Wyoming statute 16-4-405? Little a, two little i's, and three little i's.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
At 7 o'clock. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hey, guys are free to go. Call this meeting back to order.
I'll make a motion to call the meeting back to order.
Okay. Is there any other items that need to be bought before this town council?
You need a second for that?
Oh, yeah, I get to do. We
I'll
gotta vote
second.
on that. Yeah. You'll second it?
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting called back to order. Is there any further business to be brought to the town? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bob.